Hey everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Green Hill Zoo there. This is our zoo that we're building in Planet Coaster, just to clarify, not Planet Zoo, right? Planet Zoo, as the time of recording this, is still about a week and a few days, about 2 weeks, let's say, out. But yeah, this is a Planet Coaster park, but we're building a zoo with it. And if you're not sure how we're doing that, we're using Theme Maker toolkit items. I did have a few comments, just kind of over the series. People always ask per video, they're like, how do you have animals in Planet It's a roller coaster. Yeah, no, I know. But if you go on the Steam Workshop there, go down to Theme Maker's Toolkit, type in animals, you will find a selection of animals there, and that is what the inspiration for this park there is. So today we're going to go ahead, and I mentioned it in the last episode, and you kind of see me getting started here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start the North American section. So this is going to be just to the west, or just left, I guess, of the African area. Didn't really do much more to that there. I was just really wanting to make a North American section here, so kind of just skipped over anything I may have talked about finishing up or doing in the again, the African adventure section there, and just kind of skipped it and just moved on to our North American area here. So to start it off there, you might have noticed at the very beginning there, we're actually going to go, I went ahead and raised up the land there. I wanted this whole area to be just a little bit higher than the rest of the park there, just a little bit. And as we come in here, it kind of works with our sign here a little bit that we're making. And this area is called the North American Adventure, if you can't tell already there. But it kind of works with our sign here because as you're coming into this area, you're going to be going up, right? And it's a very gradual incline. You may have seen me do this at the beginning there where I used a wall piece, a 4-meter wall. That was just to make sure that I wasn't making the mound or the structure that we were getting on top of here, the hill. There it is, hill. I always make sure we weren't making the hill like too steep there, because in Planet Coaster and Planet series altogether, I can kind of tell this from the from Planet Zoo, from the beta, that everything in the game is very big. The scale for everything that Frontier does, it's always a little bit more grandiose, a little bit bigger, and that's just the art style that's just the scale that they decided to go with. For some of us, and I mentioned this a heck ton in my Planet Coaster series and a little bit in the Planet Zoo beta, there's a few of us that kind of like to rein the scale in just a little bit. And what I mean there is just, you can see the archer that I have placed down. We don't really have like anything like that for Planet Zoo. We have a whale for scale, which Jonty came up with that one, I'm pretty sure, and it makes me laugh whenever I say it, just because you never say the words whale and scale too often together. So yeah, we have whale for scale, but here in Planet Coaster, we have the archer, and that is just basically the general size of a guest. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just put a guest down next to it? Well, the reason being is you're not always building in a section that has a path or anything. So if you put a guest, you can't drop a guest just kind of randomly down in the middle of a field or anything. They'll just kind of float there if you have it paused. So yeah, the archer there, for those of you who don't know, again, it's around the exact same size as a guest in game, so it makes it a lot easier just to plop down an archer, and then you can kind of build in scale if you'd like to. Now again, not everyone needs to build like this, the in scale or whatever like that. If you just want to, you see a 4-meter, they give you the 4-meter wall pieces and you want to build with those, perfect, go for it. There's just a few of us though, who I guess I'll call us a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy, who, yeah, again, we just like to build more in scale, and that's really going against how Frontier wants you to build, I guess. It's not totally against, it's just you kind of have to manipulate the game to work for you if you want to build in this, a more guest scale there and everything like that. So, but yeah, again, on the screen here, as you can see, we're kind of making up our entranceway here, and this is really taking a lot of inspiration from what I had started and kind of finished up in the Planet Zoo beta. I kind of jokingly said when I shared some pictures of this on the Bro Nation Discord and my own Discord. Which, if you're not a part of that, definitely down below in the description, definitely click down there, join the Discord, join the Twitter, join all those social media fun stuff there, stay up to date with the channel. But when I posted some of the work that I got done here, I pretty much said, I was just like, what did I say? I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty much at this point remaking stuff from Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster, just because I'm so excited for Planet Zoo. So, and that's kind of true. I'm just kind of going through here, and my plans for this whole area again are just kind of that North American area that we had, the Grizzly Peak. That's right. I was trying to remember the name of it, Grizzly Peak from Planet Zoo. So that is kind of what we are working with here a little bit. Or that's like my main inspiration there. So. Something else I wanted to talk about real quick with the land going up like this. So when it's going up like that at the very beginning of the episode, I didn't really touch on this, but I brought the land up to that 4 meters, right, with the wall there. And then what I did was you can just kind of smooth it out very, very gently, because you got to kind of think that, and I talk about this a lot, but we want to make sure that those that are, like, have wheelchairs or even like strollers or, you know, anything like that, we want to make sure that they have access in there. So that's why this is a really long, like, ramp almost. Here you can see me kind of messing with it a little bit, kind of bringing the land down just a little bit there, but you can kind of see use the flatten to surface to kind of just smooth it out a little bit, kind of just do a lot of clicking and kind of smoothing to the surface that you want it to, and then using your smooth tool to really get that smooth out there really, really well. So the next little thing that we're working on here is I really had this in my head that I wanted to have a waterfall. I mean, it's a zoo, right? So it's it's kind of the joke thing with the zoo now, or in Planet Zoo. It was kind of the throwing shade at everybody, I guess you want to say, but is, you know, everybody's zoo had a waterfall. But you know what? I'm gonna stick up for myself because I literally think that Thornton Zoo. I'm gonna think real quick. It had one waterfall. Boom! What of it? I had one waterfall in all of Thornton Zoo, and it was inside of a house. So everyone else went kind of waterfall crazy, which is understandable because the waterfalls look amazing, and you see a lot of waterfalls and stuff like that in zoos and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was funny because Silverette posted something like that, and I think a few others did, just kind of throwing you know, fun shade at, content creators or just builders in general that were just every single time they'd upload a picture on online or whatever, it'd just be like, hey, look at my waterfall. Like, yeah, another waterfall. What is that? Like your 8th waterfall in the same zoo? Get out of here. So it was just kind of funny there, but yeah, I figured, you know, again, this is a zoo, and as far as I can remember, this is the first waterfall in this zoo as well. So I guess I'm just like, I'm not really a proper zoo builder yet because I don't put a waterfall in every single area of the zoo there. But yeah, this is going to be a nice focal point there, and you can kind of see there. I know some people have some issues making waterfalls, whether it's Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo. There, you can kind of see a little bit how I made the waterfalls. They're all special effects though. So if you're looking there and you're kind of looking through your terrain tools and you're like, why can't I, where's the waterfall section with my water terrain tools and stuff? It's not there. It's underneath. If you go on scenery, and this is what applies for Planet Zoo as well. But for Planet Coaster, if you go on scenery, and then there's, I think it's the lower left-hand corner if I'm remembering right, maybe the lower right-hand. It's special effects, and there's water special effects there. And you can, yeah, you can build a nice little waterfall set. But yeah, I wanted that to be the main focal point as you kind of go through that cave there a little bit, and you kind of come up and then you're just like, oh, look, a waterfall. It's pretty. So, and here we are. We're gonna go ahead and start on the first habitat of the area here, of the North American Adventure area. And the first habitat is going to be of a grizzly bear. And I think this is from Daddy Poe. Daddy Poe is one of the amazing Theme Maker Toolkit artists there that we have that has been with the Theme Maker Toolkit for, I want to say, pretty well near the start there. And he's always made just amazing animals and other amazing creations that you can use. And again, all this is free, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but all the animals and everything that people are making, like Daddy Poe and all them, they're all free on the workshop. So you can just download them and they'll go into your game there. So, but yeah, I think that it's a grizzly bear that he made there. It might not be exactly a grizzly bear, but it looks pretty well near a grizzly bear. So we're gonna shh, everyone pretend, say it with yes, it is a grizzly bear, right? Right. So, but yeah, here's our, again, our first little habitat here. And again, something different from, because I know I have a lot of new people from Planet Zoo coming over, so you might be just, you know, wondering what's going on here. But different from Planet Zoo to Planet Coaster is you have to build your kind of habitat, your fences or gates, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, your habitat structure there. And you can do this in Planet Zoo as well. You know, we do have the barriers that they have loaded in, like the wood barriers and the concrete and the one-way glass and all that fun stuff, right? But you can do this in Planet Zoo as well, where you use null fencing, and then as long as you use glass pieces and pieces that can, you know, hold back the animals, and they'll tell you if it can or can't. You could do this kind of viewing structure as well. But a lot of this inspiration for this area is, I'm not gonna lie, it came from Jonty. It came from Geekism. He made an amazing. I loved how it came out. It was originally a Timberwolf area, and maybe a lot of you know what I'm talking about here. But you originally made a Timberwolf area, and there was like a den. I think it turned into warthogs, African dogs. It turned into spotted dogs, right? Clap. It turned into like African dogs or spotted dogs area. But anyways, yeah, he had this little like tunnel or cave area that was held up by like a dead tree in the middle of it, and it had like a little seating area that was overlooking their den. It was really, really good. I'm sure a lot of you saw it because that's one of his most viewed videos and stuff like that, which is awesome. But if you didn't, I'll try to remember to link it. But yeah, I just pretty much wanted to rip off that entire idea because it was so cool. So that's kind of what we're doing here, just making another rock cave using our in-game rocks. And man, I feel like I'm going to mention it a lot in this video just because I have Planet Zoo on the mind, and we're building a zoo. So there you go, there's my ripoff. But man, I miss our rocks in Planet Zoo. Planet Coaster, as you can see, does it have there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 or 10 rocks per rock set, and they're not like in Planet Zoo. All the rocks, they're the same kind, like the same shape and stuff like that, but just different kind of rock varieties and stuff like that. Planet Coaster is different, where it came out with tropical rocks first from a pirate set, and there's maybe I think 4 or 5 of those, and they're different. And then we had like alpine rocks come out after that, which are the ones that I put down a lot, the kind of light gray ones. And then there was a whole bunch of different kinds of those, and then it came out with the deciduous pack, and then there was different kinds. So like none of the rocks really like match up totally. So you have like the deciduous rocks are different kinds, the alpine rocks have different kinds. So I am over the moon that they dropped that, because that doesn't make any sense to have a bunch of different rock types everywhere. So I'm very glad they decided to kind of drop that. And in Planet Zoo there, the rocks and everything, they're all the same. They just have different colors and stuff with it, which makes it a lot easier to build. And there's a lot more building rocks, I guess I should say. Making caves and structures and stuff like that in Planet Coaster, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's not a lot of flat rocks. So it gets really hard if you want to build a structure of any kind. It kind of gets a little bit hard to manipulate the rocks in the way that you want to. So it's really nice that in Planet Zoo there, they have so many different rock types, and a lot of them are those just straight on like flat rocks, right? So, but here's our second viewing area. This is something I've been kind of wanting to play with since Planet Zoo came out, and I hope this is addressed in Planet Zoo. I know I mentioned it in the last episode, but anyways, just focusing viewing areas, basically, where I don't want guests to be able to look into the habitat, you know, all the way around, basically. I just want to have certain areas. So like the main focal point would be that cave system there, where the people can come in, sit down, you know, look out over the structure there. I haven't mentioned it really, but the pathway that's going into the middle of the exhibit, that doesn't stay. So, and the reason why it doesn't stay is because of this new waterway that I put in the paths. You're gonna see I have a yak of a time to eventually where I'm just like, screw it. I'm not even gonna have it in. But yeah, that's why I haven't really mentioned that. So, but anyways, I forgot what I was talking about just before then. But yeah, as we're coming up kind of near the end here, we don't get started on any structures or anything. The main thing that we focus on for this episode is going to be finishing out this bear habitat here, kind of getting the paths all, yeah, see, I kind of try and work it around a little bit, thinking, we can have it, no, it's like, don't even, just stop, we're not gonna have it. But yeah, again, anyways, we're not, there's no structures, and my idea with structures is there's gonna be sort of a main street kind of ish thing, just across from here, just like a central hub area, and that's gonna be kind of themed up to just general North America. I'm kind of going between like a log cabin type feel, I guess, that kind of like backwoods North American feel, or I don't know. There's a lot that can go into North American, but I know I want it to feel kind of rustic a little bit, but we'll see what kind of comes up there with it. So, but yeah, there's not too much left there on the old time lapse, just another minute or two. But yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap up the episode there. The only thing that we have left to do here is we're kind of putting up the perimeter wall, hiding it with these quote unquote fake rocks, and then we set up a little behind the scenes backstage area for the bear to go whenever it's not on here getting recreation and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, no, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and take a look at we'll do a Main Street kind of area. We're gonna put in a bald eagle habitat. I'm gonna kind of try and do something a little bit different with that, so it's not just a straight on, like, you know, cage with a bald eagle sitting in it. And then we have timber wolves. So we have 2 more animals that we want to put in our North American section: timber wolves and the bald eagle, and then the kind of the Main Street kind of shopping area as well. So there we go. That's gonna go ahead and do it there. But y'all enjoy the last little bit of the time lapse here, and until the next episode of Green Hill Zoo, we'll see you then. Thanks so much, everyone.